Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. So today we're going to be making this bag that you are seeing right now. Okay, so to begin, we're going to be needing this flat bead. I use a 0.7 mm fishing line, but advice is use a 0.6 mm. You need your scissors as well, and also this handle. So to begin, we're going to string 4 beads into our fishing line, like so. You string 3 beads and use 1 to cross the both lines, just as you are seeing right now. So I'm going to cross it now. Make sure my fishing line is equal, then I'll pull down. You should have something like this. Now I'm going to pick 3 beads. String 1 bead on each end of the fishing line. Put 1 on one side, put the second one on the other side, and use 1 to cross the both lines. Okay. Like so. Make sure your fishing line is equal again, then pull. You should have something like this as well. We're going to do the third one now. We're going to still pick 3 beads and do the same thing. Put 1 on each end of the fishing line, then use 1 to cross. It's just like a regular bead matting. The only difference is the type of the bead being used. It's the same process. If you watch my video on bead matting, you'll know that it's the same process of making the bag. It's just the different types of bead that makes it look different. Okay, we have our third one now. We're going to make the fourth one, which is going to help us to turn. So we're going to pick the fishing line on our left hand side. Put all 3 beads on that fishing line, like so. Then we'll pick the fishing line on our right hand side and cross it. Exactly like that. Okay, so now we have our fishing line at the top bead, so that will enable us to do our second row. So for us to start our second row again, we're going to still pick the fishing line on our left hand. We're going to string 3 beads again into it, like so. Then you use the fishing line on your right hand to cross it with the third bead. My fishing line is quite long, so when you are doing yours, use the one that is comfortable for you. I don't like using a short fishing line, so I prefer to use something long that will help me to walk for a long time. So I'm passing my fishing line now into the next bead. Now this time I'm going to pick just 2 beads, put it on the fishing line on my left hand side. I use the fishing line on my right to pass into the next bead. So now I'm going to put 2 beads into the fishing line on my left hand, then use the one on my right hand, then cross it in. Okay, so I'm going to pass it now into the last bead. This time I'm passing into the fishing line on my right hand as usual, but this time I'm going to fix the bead on that same fishing line I used to pass, which is the one at my right hand. That will enable me to turn so that I can do my third row. Now this time I'm going to use the fishing line on my left hand to cross it. So after doing this, I'm just going to flip my work to the other side just to enable me, so it will be easier for me to walk. Now we're going to do our third row now. So we're going to pick 3 beads, string it on the fishing line on our left hand just as we did before. Then use the one at the right hand to cross. Exactly the same process we did while doing our second row. I'm going to pass it as well. Okay, I've done that. Then this is also the last, passing it into the last bead again, just to show you the process of turning again. Then I've passed it with the right fishing line on my right hand. I'm going to use that same fishing line, string 2 beads on that same fishing line, then use the one at the left hand to cross. Okay, so our third row is complete. I just flipped my work to the over again. So I'm just going to do the other parts. I'll get back and show you what to do next. Okay, so I'm done now. I have 7 rows. Okay, 3 for each side, then 1 for the base. So exactly what I'm doing. Now we're going to do the sides of the bag. Now I'm starting with a new fishing line. Please ignore the one that is hanging there. Like I said, I advise you to use 0.6 fishing line because the holes on these beads are quite small. So when I was done passing the fishing line, trying to end my fishing line was quite difficult because there was no space in the beads. So I just left that one so that when I'm done, I'll pass everything together. But later I changed my mind. I decided to just pass it and take my chances. So I've passed it now. Okay, so I'm stringing my fishing line into those 3 beads by the side. I've done that. So I'm going to pick just 1 bead. Like I said, it's exactly the same process of bead matting. If you have not watched that video, I'm going to link it in the description box so you could understand what we are doing better. Okay, but I hope you also understand my explanation. I'm just going to cross that 1 bead. So we'll have our first bead there right now. We're going to pass our fishing line into the next 2 beads. One will go into the one on the left, the one on the right will go into the bead on the right. Just as you are seeing right now. This bag is very easy and very simple. Doesn't have any technicalities, just a very easy, simple bag to make. Okay, now I've stringed both fishing line into it. Now I'm going to pick just 1 bead again and cross both fishing lines into that 1 bead. Please, if you're still watching the video up to this point, please subscribe to my channel. Help us grow, help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate everyone. Okay, now that that is done, I'm going to put the fishing line into the next beads. This time, I'm going to pick 2 beads with my handle. Okay, so we're going to string 1 bead into the fishing line on our left hand, then insert the handle, then insert the second bead. So this time, instead of crossing into just that 1 bead, we're going to cross into all 3. We'll cross it into the first one, pass it through the handle as well, then pass it through the second bead as well. Then you pull. That will help you secure your handle as well as finish up that side. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to pass my fishing line, but first I'm going to tie a knot. So I'll just find a way to pass that fishing line so it will end up at the other side where the other fishing line is. So I'll be able to tie a knot then before I finish my fishing line by passing it through the beads. So I'm just going to tie the knot twice. First one, I'm going to tie a second one. I'm going to pull very, very tight. Then once I'm done making the knots, I'm just going to pass my fishing line into the bead until I'm satisfied that my handle is firm and steady. Like I said, please use a 0.6 fishing line for this bead. It was quite difficult trying to pass it. Do the same thing for the other fishing line too. Once I'm satisfied, I'll just cut out the excess. And that is that for that side. So I'm gonna have to do the other part as well. So I'm going to repeat the same thing. Pick 2 beads, pass the first. Okay, I've done that. I'm just showing you that I've done the other side. So I'm going to pick 2 beads, pass the first bead, insert the handle, pass the second bead, then use this other side of the fishing line to cross into all 3, and that to secure the other side as well. Okay, I'm going to pass it through the 3 points: the first bead, the handle, and the last bead. If you don't have a handle, you can as well use the bead to make a handle. Okay, or you can be creative. You can use pearls to make the handle. You can just do anything. You can just be versatile with your work. Okay, just put your creativity into place and just do what you like. If you don't have this handle, you can use the same beads to make a handle. You can use other beads like maybe pearls or something else to make a handle to still come out beautiful. You can see it was quite difficult for me to pass this fishing line. So I'm just going to tie a knot here as well. Tie 2 knots just to secure it. Tying knots is not compulsory, but I just like to do it just so I'll have peace of mind that my handle is, especially when I'm dealing with handles and I'm using a fresh fishing line. I just like to tie knots so that I'll know that everything is secure and firm before I pass my fishing line into the beads. So that is what we have right now. Our bag is ready and beautiful. Thank you all so much for watching and sticking by to the end. I appreciate you all. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Help us push this video out there. Thank you so much. See you in my next video. Bye.